And we're live!
No
Yay!
way!
Today, we're hopefully better than ever because both using decent proper mics, and according to Sarah, I sound much different than normally. And it annoys the hell out of me because I can't hear it, because everything here sounds perfectly fine to me. I showed in the vlog, I showed in the vlog, I'm using like a very fancy setup with a very expensive microphone stand,
Okay,
which is my 70.
guys, write it in the comments how you think he sounds like. For me, he sounds like imagine if you're in Premiere or wherever and you slow down a clip, for example, to 90. He sounds a bit slower and deeper. Maybe even as if he has like teeth problem and just went to the dentist. So a bit mumbly, but the quality is still good. However, since we started the live stream just now, you have statics in between sometimes, like every 30 seconds you talk.
I don't know what's going on. Like I said, it irritates me because everything here sounds perfectly fine. Only when I have to switch back turn off every single piece of audio because it's just annoying to you guys as soon as I don't talk, then the game automatically jumps up to super hearing basically. It sucks.
It is a very rhythmic that we get it from you. I don't know, either you're touching something, a cable or something.
Nope.
Don't
No,
move.
I'm just not. I
Yeah,
will just
just
not do
happened again.
anything.
Just happened again.
Hmm. The only way I can really hear it is by listening to the stream myself. And
That will fuck you up.
oh, I do hear it now. Yeah, it's weird.
Do you
It
want to
might just
switch
be
back?
that. Yeah, I want to switch back, but I don't.
What, you don't?
I don't want to switch back
Why not?
because I like this mic. It works fine with everything else. Why doesn't it? Why work with the FaceTime? With Google Plus. Google Plus, the only
Uh,
one that is being asked today.
did you plug it in directly to the? Are you feeding it over the camera and over the Zoom?
Of course not.
So
No, no. Don't get me wrong. This is nothing more than the microphone stand
good. So you're feeding it directly to the computer?
to the Zoom to the computer. Yeah.
You don't need the Zoom. It's not a phantom
Yes.
powered.
No, I do need it. It doesn't work. In the past, it doesn't work. I can try, but it doesn't work.
You should try. Anyhow, guys, it's nice seeing you here. We probably only have like 6 people or 2 people watching right now. Up to the point when the live stream is actually in your feed. So if you're rewatching this, hi, this is the actual hi, and us sorting out our sound problems.
Yeah.
So you had a busy week too. You went off and took some pictures. So how was that?
Oh yeah. Yesterday was well. I think Jelska might have laughed at me when I said walkathon, but that's technically it's a marathon, but then they're basically a 4-day event where usually kids and clubs like soccer teams and uh, preschool students, I think, like younger kids walk 10K per day, and on the fourth day, they get candy and presents around their neck watching through the city center here in Dordrecht. There are more throughout the Netherlands itself, but here in Dordrecht, we do it in the city center. And Jubal always does their street parade in front of Young Jubal, which as a kid was awesome. And I watched it once, and then I was like, no, this is not that cool anymore because I really don't street parades. They're the most boring thing because you're playing maybe 4, 5, like 10,000 times throughout an hour.
Okay.
So yeah. But it was fun. A couple of photos. What?
You ran like 20 minutes
Oh
on it.
yeah. Well, the fun. I was with my grandmother. That
Yeah,
was my excuse of going.
could you stop the mic because we get the in between
Okay.
like every 10 seconds.
Okay. No worries.
Sorry.
Uh, in microphone.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay. Well, I will just keep it like this. I hope it doesn't get worse.
No, it sounds good, actually.
Okay.
It sounds good. Way
Well,
better. And no
let's
hissing.
Okay, like I said, I went with my grandmother because that was my excuse of going to the city center. And really, at moments like these, I really miss having a telephoto lens because it's not that easy running
I've
about,
left three here. You can have them.
yeah, well, a proper telelens, not a crappy uh, Tamron with
No,
sandpaper in between the lens.
what? No, my Sigma is good.
I
It
don't like
actually
to
does also.
for that one.
That one is actually good.
Okay.
I also, if you are between 200 and 300, you can switch on the macro feature, so you can actually take really cool macro shots and don't have to be too close, which is pretty awesome. So the lens is really good. I like it. But
Maybe
I
I've
don't.
been spoiled by the beauty of the Canon version, which I really love more.
Well, have you tried it? Plus, do
Yes.
you have the money for a L lens? No, you don't. So shut it and use it.
That is actually not an L lens, I think. That's just a standard lens that does that. I think the telelenses don't even come in L form, so far I
I'm
remember.
pretty sure they. I'm pretty sure they do.
No, I don't know.
Um,
They come in like the super
the white ones.
USM2 version 5.6.2.8
The
F.
white ones, the really expensive ones.
Yeah.
Um, No, however, I love the lens, and I used to use it for baseball stuff, everything where you're either on a distance or need like proper shots. So it's kind
I
of cool.
still okay. Maybe the reason why I love the Canon version much more is because the autofocus is amazing on those lenses. If they
You
focus, they
haven't
work.
even tried the Sigma one. You can't hate without testing it. You can't say I like it more if you haven't even tested it.
Well, I've used the Tamron and it's pretty much the same model.
Yeah, I would never buy Tamron. Who the fuck buys Tamron?
Well, I made that.
That guy over there, you can't hate against Sigma and buy Tamron. That's like,
Well,
what?
a correction. When I started out, I thought that was a good lens, and I was
No,
very early.
everybody tells you don't buy Tamron. That's the worst thing you can do.
Well, because I did it from experience, I can tell people from experience like this is a shit lens when it comes to using it on the level that I want to use it on. It's not great. It's awesome for macro photography. It's great for doing stills on a tripod with bugs, for instance, or flowers, but doing sports or uh, high action movement, not the best lens for that type of thing. I don't like it. I don't like the color. Let me just say that. I like the colors from the other lens better because it matches a little bit with the beauty of my 1635. Which the one, which is the one that I used yesterday. I mean that lens is beautiful, but really have to run. I was running for about 25 minutes throughout the city center trying to catch up like multiple times because they're taking like a route through the city, and I can take shortcuts. Well, not really shortcuts, but technically they're shortcuts. Uh, I mean, in the end I took like 180 photos, and I ended up using like a 60 or something. So that not bad. I'm happy with it.
Oh, guys, sorry for the mess in the background. I was just checking the framing.
No,
I'm
she's
still
in an episode of Hoarders next week.
No, that's not true. I started sorting on the last weekend, but I basically worked almost late almost every evening, so I didn't really have any chance to do anything. Oh no,
Like I said, she's
I
in a
was
new Hoarders
working
episode
I
next
was
week.
working late and I was out, so basically I came home for sleeping and that's it. I haven't even checked my fridge yet.
Okay, well, I'm still worried.
What?
On which channel does the American version of Hoarders come?
TLC?
I'm probably TLC. Yeah,
No, no,
it's
it is TLC. I know, I
oh,
have
it is
seen it
T.
before.
Oh dear God, yes, that worries me even more.
TLC is terrible because they should actually an educational channel, which I didn't know because what is TLC stand? What does TLC stand for? I don't know. I'm foreign. Bah.
The Learning Channel. That's
Yeah,
what it
it is.
stands for.
It is. I know that now, but when I heard TLC, it sounded more like a VLC, so like a sales channel or whatever. So I didn't
Oh
really
well,
bother thinking about it. And then someone was like, "Yeah, it's actually a teaching channel." And I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting." Like the really trashy stuff, even like my gypsy wedding or something is on there, and
yeah.
say yes to the dress and all that stuff. This is not teaching. It's maybe teaching about real life.
Like how horrible people are in real life. Maybe that's technically what the TLC channel programming is for.
Yeah.
Pure entertainment with a very low value.
Mhm. So we still have the Q&A enabled, so if you guys want to
Yeah,
ask something, please
you
feel
can
free to
use the
do that.
yellow button that says "Be part of the conversation." Click to join the Q&A on Google Hangout. It will take you to a new screen. Either I think it opens the stream in there again, or you can just basically it's this sort of the same thing that we're seeing here, and
Wait, what
use
can
that
we
as our we use it as a replacement for the YouTube comments chat system because it's just heavily broken all the time. And so far we know the Q&A tool works best. Or you can of course just tweet us because that also works.
Yeah. So we do. Good-looking couple. Ha! Hi, how are you? I've actually seen you. I think you finished college, Hoskai, right? Or university. Was it film studies or something? It just looks cool. I see you on Instagram and so on. Okay, we got. Is it a question or just a comment
I don't know. Where?
on Q&A? Oh yeah, MTV. Keith, happy birthday, by the way. Not today, but I think yesterday or the day before. Hi kids, all the channels are messed up now. When was the last time MTV had music?
Yeah, that
You,
was
you,
somewhere towards the 90s when I was born.
you,
They started to mess up.
I just wanted to say, have you ever seen a music video on MTV?
Yeah, I actually, back in the day when I was a big fan of shit, what were they called? Oh
Blink
man, I
182,
no, it's the other one. Also,
Green
yeah, I
Day,
was a Blink at 182 fan back in the day.
Green Day,
No,
Bloodhound
but
Gang.
no, but they're in the same group family. Shit, what was that? What were they called?
Oh my God, are we t no. Okay, I let you. I have another idea what it could be.
What? The Offspring. That's
Yeah,
the
I knew
name.
it. I knew it because I was like, there's only one. And
Yeah.
did I ever tell you about the self-esteem music clip?
I don't know. I don't know.
No. So in my hometown, we have a big like gymnasium. It's called gymnasium. It's not a gym. It is actually it's like the high school, but for the more intelligent people. Har, har, har. No, I won't explain the school system now, but if you want to study, you have to go to a gymnasium normally. Gymnasium. So, however, we weren't in the direction music, so we didn't really have a music teacher in one in 1 year. So they gave us a guy who normally teaches physics and math. So we ended up being like sitting there and either singing or he played the guitar, but it wasn't really music, whatever. So at one point, he was like, "Okay, do you guys want to shoot a music video?" And everybody was like, awesome, whatever. I wasn't really included in that part because I was pretty much an outsider. So a couple of people, let's call them like 8 people, the popular kids, decided they wanted to do The Offspring self-esteem. And then we shot the whole music video in a cellar at school, blah, blah, blah. It was really fucked up, really bad. And I'm like, why does the teacher allow this? Seriously, it was
Because
so
it's
bad.
entertainment.
No, it was almost like people were drinking and smoking. I think they were like
Wow.
15, 16.
That is
Um,
bad.
it is
Wow.
really bad. I mean, the music video, I've never seen it, but it was real bad. So, yeah. So that was my experience. And you have no idea how often I heard that song because they played over and over again. Okay, now you.
Um, there was a new song, and I don't know what the name was of that, but it was one of their later albums, and they had a really cool music video with that. I think it was like in between animated and live action, and I thought that clip was so cool that I actually used my first cell phone back in the day to text to get that song multiple times per week. Because then we didn't have the internet as we have it now, where we can just YouTube that shit and do whatever we like.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think like 2000, like early 2000 was like the last time they actually did something when it came to music. They still do music here, but those are dedicated music channels, and that sucks. Like those are just the worst. Like they're all basically rap hip hop. There's nothing really of any other band. For those who are wondering, the 70 is a crop sensor, so it's not a full frame.
But we will
But
have.
nonetheless, I still love the thing to death because
Yeah.
it does its job, and it has done its job really well.
Yeah. What the hell?
But
YouTube Nation just posted a thumbnail with Grace and John Green in it. That is like the weirdest combination ever.
oh,
I mean,
I think
right?
that's their interview that they did. It's actually really funny. It's super
Is it?
awkward, but it's pretty funny.
Okay. I shall
YouTube
watch
Nation?
that later. Oh,
They
yeah,
didn't
I
just
think YouTube Nation is actually produced by, or
yeah,
at least
it's made by YouTube.
authorized by YouTube. So,
I think the guys that work at the LA creator space are in charge of that,
yeah,
I
let's
believe,
see.
if I'm correct. So,
So,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
no, you first. Apparently, you had something interesting to say.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Uh, no, I was out today too. I helped Luke and the guys from the 3D printing to shoot a couple of product pictures. The problem is Luke is a paranoid, paranoid. I think that's
Paranoid.
the English, right? So I couldn't really take any photos because I'm not allowed to show the product yet. He's just afraid that it will end up on the internet beforehand. Although I signed some, how is it called? No? Yeah, so anyhow, we shot a couple of pictures and I set up the whole thing and it was pretty cool. So yeah, it's experience. It's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. The whole 3D printing thing in general is it's. I don't really think that there is a big scene here in the Netherlands. It's
Oh,
mostly
no,
U.S.
no, no,
companies.
no. No, that's wrong. Actually, there's a huge scene in Europe and there are products in Europe. I didn't know that, but it's kind of cool. And the Europeans are ahead of the Americans, as far as I understand what Luke told me. He keeps on talking about it. And I'm not sure about the Netherlands, but the UK and Germany, I'm pretty sure Netherlands too. So it's a good market there, actually.
Okay. Well, I learned something new today. Maybe because I really don't know
No,
anyone who cares enough.
yeah, yeah, that's a problem right now. It's more like engineers and people who are interested in technique who actually build the stuff themselves. So they get the parts and they start tuning it, and it just takes months to set it up.
Okay.
So yeah,
So another camera-related question. What's your favorite lens and or focal length?
you want to start?
Well, no, you sure you can start first.
Well, since I've seen it, there is a lens out there from Tokina. It's 11 to 18, I think. And it's just a wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous lens I definitely want to have. It's not a brand I had on my radar before because I didn't know it, but I had the chance to actually use it on a camera and I was like in love with it. And generally, I like 50 millimeter because you get nice depth of field and stuff, and of course the 2470 from Canon and blah blah blah, everything that's L lenses. But in general, I do like 50 millimeter because you actually can make really cool shots. But it really depends what you want to film or take photos of. So, no, you.
I mean, I love my 1635 wide angle L lens because it's just a beautiful lens for both cinematography and for photography. Especially landscape slash architecture shots work really well apparently. Um, but then again, I do love the Canon telelens. I like the 70-200, either the f4 or the f2.8. It doesn't really matter. Both of them are technically the same. It's just that one is more sensitive with light.
We have a tail lens from Canon at work, but it's a cheap one, and I don't like it. I really prefer the Sigma over that, and Sigma isn't that bad. I mean, if we had the money, we probably would go for size or whatever. Anyhow, but that
Yeah,
is
Zeiss does
Sigma.
all. Zeiss only does the non. The only does prime lenses most of the time.
I know. I'm just saying.
Well, okay, then I would totally want to have any of the DSLR or correction the EF mount size series because all of them are amazing. It's more or less like the type of lenses I guess that I like to work with. L
Okay.
lenses are used. Most of the L lenses do their job really well.
Okay, we have a question from Alan. I think he is on his phone or iPad or whatever, and he can't use the Q&A tool because it's blacked out, blanked. Sorry. English hard language. So he asked a question on Twitter instead, asking, Sarah, have either of you volunteered recently? Would you like to teach video or photo? I've been asked to help at a local school. So what about you?
Well, I've done my share of volunteering when it comes to filming and photography. Does that count?
Yeah.
I mean, I've done a couple of charity organizations that asked me to do a couple of videos for them. I've done photography multiple times for my mom's special needs slash handicapped school, like severely handicapped children, and I mean not physically as in wheelchairs because of limbs that are missing, but mentally handicapped.
Yeah.
I mean that was definitely a challenge because I mean they always say that you're not allowed to talk to them as if they're kids, but some of them are not older mentally than like 1 or 2, while they're 17 physically, and it's really weird how they sometimes act, and I don't know always how to react to that. So that's something that I confessed just now.
So I think everybody has that problem because it's just not what you're used to, and
No,
like,
there's a difference between someone who's handicapped or someone who just has special needs, and someone with like a severe handicap is just if you don't know them, it's just really really hard to figure out what you can and cannot say. Like if you say something, they might take it too literally, and that might end up I don't know. I just had some really awkward moments before.
that's what I'm saying. Everybody would have that because you're just not used to it and you don't know how to deal with it. And plus, everybody is different. So if you say, even with normal people, if you say something to me, a different person might I react completely different. So,
True.
so I wouldn't worry too much. I think it's absolutely normal. People react like this.
Yep. But
But would you do a like if someone says like, hey, could you do a seminar or workshop on DSLR shoots or
sure.
vlogging or something?
I mean, I actually had almost a moment where I wanted to do workshops on schools with the excuse of self-esteem and just
Why not?
basically, well, not why not, but basically that's usually an angle that works really well for schools because, well, self-esteem is usually a problem. And if people are in front of a camera and they have to be themselves, uh, even though if they're awkward or not, it's just a way to get them out of their shell. And some people actually really excel either in front or behind the camera. So I don't know. It doesn't actually have to be an actual video or photography teaching thing, but it's more or less like the thought behind what you do. Because what I do with film and photo is just purely feeling. I mean, I might take 3 photos of which I might only use 1 because I'm not happy with the other ones, even though the other ones are for most people more than perfect. I mean, my mom usually is the one that always she has seen me edit a couple of the photos that I make, and she's like, "Why are you throwing that one away? That one is perfectly fine." I'm like, "No, I don't like the focus on that, or I don't like the color on that. It's unusable." And that's the same problem that I had yesterday. My grandmother was watching over my shoulder while I was importing and doing some color grading into the photos. And I was like, I'm not happy with these. The sun was too sharp, and it blew out the entire sky while it was shaded on the street level. And it didn't work entirely as I wanted it to be. So I threw out half the photos because I just simply didn't like them.
Yeah, the thing is, if you can't control the environment, you have to work with what you have. And if you don't have like a whole team like shading off things or like bouncing extra light or so, it's you just work with what you have, and
Yeah.
according you can really have beautiful pictures you would never have created in a studio. So
hmm Oh yeah, I mean seriously, I'm very happy with how the photos that I take are usually very, very beautiful in color, and that's the most important. They don't always have to be perfectly in focus, but that's mainly because I like to stylize them.
we have a really
Yeah,
okay.
I see. I was already about to click that. Canon or
No, no,
Nikon
no,
or
no,
Nikon?
no. There was a really high hissing.
That's not me.
Yes, it is. You just
No,
turned or did something.
I didn't click on anything.
No, you're moving or touching something.
No,
Sorry.
no, my hand has been on the mouse the entire time.
Turn your head back. Yeah, now it's there, not there, there, not there. Okay. Okay, read the question. I had another one, but you clicked the question, so go ahead.
Okay. Well, uh, someone else asks in the Q&A tool, Canon or Nikon or Nikon, depending on how you want to pronounce it. What's the
It's like
biggest reason for most photographers, filmers, editors seems to choose Canon over Nikon or Nikon? Or is that just personal choice? When it comes to photography, it's purely where you grew up with or what was your first camera that you got. I mean, I love Canon because I love the interface and it works really, really well with what I need to do with it. Also, because the film side is much better for Canon DSLR cameras. When it comes to the camcorder side, like the professional cameras, it's just up for what you have to use and what your budget is.
I
But
think for me
Nikon is photo-wise pretty much exact same quality-wise. If you go into the professional
yeah,
level cameras, even the entry levels are technically all the same.
yeah. The
All
thing
the like the point and shoot cameras, the vlogging camera that we use, we could use a Nikon, we can use a Pentax. It doesn't really matter. They're technically the same, but because I like how Canon does their thing and everything always works nice with software,
mhm.
I'm full
I was
fanboy.
for the point and shoot, I was actually looking for a cheaper camera while mine was being repaired. And I had Sony and Panasonic and whatever was there in my hand. And I almost bought a Sony, but then again, I looked through the menu. I don't like it. The thing is,
Yep.
Canon actually has what I think is a user-friendly interface
Well,
going.
also because if you start with an entry-level camera and you go up to the professional level, the only difference that you get is more buttons that you have to manage.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. You get more physical buttons.
And the thing for the DSLRs is I think Canon was the first who actually brought the DSLR you actually could film on a consumer level.
Uh,
So especially for journalists. And
I'm not entirely sure if that was canon, but I think it just gradually, all of them at the same time, just
I
rose
mean,
up to the same
Lumix
level.
had Panasonic Lumix, they had that too. But what was out there, it's like for the journalists, they basically had the 5D, so they could film some clips at red carpets and so on. And that's what they did. It wasn't intended to be like a real filming camera. It was just for a couple of clips, and then it developed. And the thing is, for the semi-pro camcorders, I think you have Sony, Canon, Panasonic.
Sorry, what?
For the
Sony?
semi-pro camcorders, you have Sony, Canon, and Panasonic, I think.
Yeah, you have Sony, Panasonic. No, Panasonic, not really. They have a couple of models, but they're usually not really that big.
And of course, you
Um,
have like Blackmagic now and other camera, whatever going. But if you're
yeah, you
talking,
have like the expensive cinema cameras, but those I don't count as the uh,
no, no.
well,
But if
regular
you're
camera.
talking about DSLR, it's like you said, it's personal preference. So
Yeah,
most of the people I know use Canon. Then today, the guys are using Nikon because the guy bought a Nikon. But for him,
yeah.
it was more like, what do I pick? Okay, I picked this one. It's
It's
but
usually also what your friend has is what you get.
The thing is, the quality is the same. I
Yeah.
tried to figure out some settings, but for me it's complicated because I'm used to Canon so
I
much. And
hate
then
the
I'm like,
Nikon menus.
I hate the Nikon menu too. It's not as bad as other ones, but it's like it's completely arranged different, and I can't find the settings I need to have. And I'm asking him, "Do you know where the grid is?" And he's like, "I haven't found it yet." And I'm like, "Bless you."
I was trying to sneeze, but of course, as soon as I want to, it stopped doing it. And I still have to
But
sneeze. It's just not going away, the feeling.
the thing is, if you have Canon or Nikon, whatever. But I know more people who have Canon, so if you go for Canon, then you could swap like lenses and share and whatever.
Also that,
I think it's just for me it's easier to use because it's almost like switch it on and use it instead of reading through the manual and stuff. It's
yeah.
very logical how they set it up. I probably would change a couple of things, but Canon is what I would go
Oh,
for.
I would change 100 things on the 70.
Yeah.
But
See,
then again, I just accept how it works.
See, I do like the 7D and the 5D and whatever, and I would get used to that there are so many more buttons. But on the other hand, if I want to do some simple stuff, the 600D or the Rebels are completely fine to me. Hey, I finally know a good use case for the white DSLR they brought out. The Canon has a white DSLR now, especially for product photography. Then I don't have to
No,
build a burqa.
it's just white girl
No, it's
cameras.
not. It's actually for the photos
No,
they did today. It would have been useful, trust me.
nope, nope. It's nothing more than just the Instagram generation of, oh my God, I have a Canon now, and it's
I'm
why.
just saying I have a
Not
use
to
case where
say,
it works.
not to say that I would love to have a custom color on my 7D, but that's purely because I like cool custom stuff. And black is nice, but I would like to have a different cool color if I had the choice. But that the whole trend of all of a sudden getting like the white rebel, or I'm not sure what it's called, the international name
No,
will
no,
be
it's
for it.
called differently. They are away from the rebels now. This is the
No,
next
no, no, no.
generation.
Canon, the US versions are all rebel still.
No, 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 no. The white
That's the
one,
white one is a rebel. Trust
it is,
me.
it is,
You can look
it,
it up. It is a
no,
rebel.
it
That's
is, no, they call it differently now. It's a S something. It's the next part of the rebel. It's still a rebel in our thinking, but it's something else now.
I can look it up.
I'm looking it
It
up, and
is
you
a
can.
rebel.
It
It's
is not a rebel anymore.
yes, because Rebel is their entry level camera in the
It's
US because they're
what I'm.
stupid and
Listen
they
to
can't.
me. They reach an end with a T3i, T6i,
No,
T7i. They don't go for a T40i anymore.
trust me, it is a Rebel. I know it for a fact because it is an entry level camera. It has a really dumb name. It's like a Rebel something something.
Well, the one
Uh,
I've opened, Canon released a white version of the Canon EOS 100D. That's not the one we want. That's
okay.
the
Well, in the
older.
meantime, I'll answer a different question from someone from the community. He asks, Yoda, how did you make the intro? I assume for the vlogging, for the vlog. I'm trying to make my own with the TARDIS. Well, actually, I didn't make the intro this time. That intro is made by my younger sister, who is apparently a genius when it comes to graphic design because that's what she studied. She actually made that last December when I left to Germany, and when I came back, she was like, "Hey, I made a new intro."
Yay!
And it's actually not that hard. I think that she used an existing TARDIS model and imported it in one of those 3D programs. I can name a few, but probably half of you guys don't even know what I'm talking about then. And I go into a very deep, dark part of the internet that knows all sorts of programs that
Okay,
only us editors and people who produce content like that need.
yeah. So I found it. It is EOS Rebel, but it's called SL1 now. It's a different series. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay, but it's still a rebel though.
It is a Rebel, but it's a different series. It's not a T3 something anymore.
I know, but it's still a rebel, and
It still looks
that was
good.
my that was my most important. No, I hate it. If they
I
would
like it.
if no, if they would offer every single professional camera in a different color other than camouflage, because that's the only other option that you can get on the higher level cameras. No, I mean I just agree. I do like black though. I don't know. I do like my black camera.
It is okay. Should we post the GoFundMe link in the description, guys? Or are you aware of it? I guess everybody's aware of it right now.
Yeah, because after last week we got a couple of amazing new donations, and I will just go to the GoFundMe page /Nerdish Wedding and thank the people who have donated throughout last week. A couple of them are anonymous, and I think one or two is double. I'm not entirely sure. 9 days. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 new donations after last week's live stream. Um, I know the names because I actually get them in the email that you send. I can actually see your actual name, so I'm sorry for those who don't want their name known at all, but I will just read what I have, and thank you guys. So the first one is actually from 6 days ago, so I think that was the day after we did the live stream. Uh, who calls himself the Doctor, which is not true because I'm not going to donate to myself.
You are aware there are more than one doctor out there.
Lies.
Yes.
Well, at least
Right.
this so-called doctor donated $10 and said Alan Z. So,
That's awesome.
of course. And the next one is
Oh,
Cat Hunt that decided to donate another 50 euros, which was amazing. Cat Blake wanted to donate 15 euros and said, hope this helps into making your wedding day a bit more awesome, bit by bit, right? Hugs from Portugal, Cat. So thank you a lot, Cat. And the next one is Lucy Dobler. I hope that is British and that I pronounced it correctly.
yeah, that is correct. She's actually a coworker, ex-coworker from mine, and she lives in San Francisco now, and she is German. And
Okay,
she's
so she
awesome, by
said,
the way.
have a wonderful wedding day. So thank you, Lucy, for that. The next one is anonymous. I know who it is, but that was someone that donated 50 euros. So either way, I know who you, and we always send a thank you message from the GoFundMe page. So if you haven't received one, it might be that I looked over it and I thought that Sarah already had answered that. But usually I try to respond directly as I see them. So thank you, Anonymous, who donated. And the next one is Nick Milligan. I hope that that was the correct name. Who donated 25 euros and said Sarah and Yoda together. So thank you so much for donating, guys. Of course, everyone who donated before, we already thanked you last week, and I'm very, very grateful. We are very, very grateful for all your support and gifts for our wedding day. Let's see.
Okay, okay,
I
guys. If it
I
switched,
Yep. I switched to your screen.
okay, if it switched to my screen, this is basically the heart we will be sending out to everybody who donated, or I hate donated, who gave us a gift for our wedding. You can use that heart and do whatever you want with it. Just color it or get some fabrics or metal or do whatever you want with it. We're sending it out after the live show, so it goes out and will be in your, sorry, I don't want this. How do I end screen share? You're a talk.
Brr! I can see myself.
I know, this is weird. Stop screen sharing. Okay, there we go.
Well,
So
you
we will
clicked
be
on it.
huh? Yeah, I don't know. So we will be sending it out after the live stream, so you
Yep.
will have it in your email boxes because Lisa was asking. And
Yep.
yeah, we
And to
finished
add
it.
on to that, she asks, why did you decide on a red theme for the wedding? I thought surely it would have TARDIS blue. There were thoughts, and for now we'll just keep it with just the European side because that's the official wedding, of course. Red has no particular meaning in the Netherlands or Germany, so far I know, when it comes to weddings. It's just that we really like red.
Plus,
Uh,
it's Euro always explains it. It stands also for love and roses and hearts and whatever. And we love
Blah,
red. You
nasty.
said that.
I know, and that makes me sick that I said it.
It's your fault.
I
No,
know. No,
actually, the
really,
thing is,
it's because of that.
obviously we planned a Doctor Who wedding and we wanted to do it in the US, but Eura's not here, so we can't do it. So what's happening is we will hopefully will have two weddings, one this year, obviously, to get married, and one next year in the US, which will be Doctor Who themed. And if it's not happening next year, then the year after,
Also
or
because
whenever.
I really, really want my TARDIS to be there physically.
Yeah.
And yes, I did look up multiple places that would rent me an actual TARDIS. That would be amazing.
There are a couple of cosplayers on Facebook. You can actually rent the TARDIS and them with them, but I guess they would only give you the TARDIS too.
hmm
Or we can go.
Mark Hamilton asks about the hearts, so we create our heart design in Photoshop GIMP and email it back to you. Yeah, sure, you can do that. Just I think
I
it's
thought
stay
for
within the lines, right? That's sort of the thought
Well,
that.
let's just use the thing as a template. I mean, it would be cool if you actually send us physical mail, so we don't have to print it ourselves or do whatever with it. So we actually can just use it and use it for the decoration. That would be awesome if that's possible. Question mark.
Mhm.
We also have two addresses, one for the US for our PO box and one for Europe, so it's cheaper. But I guess you could email it back, right?
Sorry, what?
You also could email it back. It's so good that you never listen to me when I
No,
talk.
I'm trying to read stuff, and someone is writing in a very difficult caps, half caps thing. So I was trying to focus, and I'm not wearing glasses because it's reflective, really weird on my face in front of the camera. But you were talking about email it back?
Yeah, like I said, I would like to have the stuff back in as a physical mail so we can just use it.
Oh yeah. The idea is to get hopefully because it's not that hard. The heart is not that big. I think it should fit in a regular envelope and or package if you do something really crazy with it, of course. Um, but yeah, you could do it if you want to email it back with a cool design that you have in mind or layers. I prefer or we prefer to have something cool, creative made out of it and then sent to us. But if you want to email it to us and us print it somehow, we can of course do that. But it won't be the same thing as you really physically doing something cool to it.
I just wave in between to everybody who's commenting right now saying hi. Welcome to the live stream. Okay, now back.
Okay. So the before I do Lisa's, I'm trying to read and filter out if this is if I can actually read this. Uh, it's a camera, guys. No flight, please. I did like the Minecraft video. Too bad I don't have it. Any other game server you would try? Okay, this was not English, not even for my standards. I think what I get from it is that this person loved the Minecraft video that I did, even though it was just like a random test that I tried without actual any editing. I did it in the program itself. I was like, fuck it, I just exported from there. Um, I'm not sure what it means by the server, but if you want to join the server and you have the PC version of Minecraft, I'm not sure. Alan might know more, who is our other additional admin. I think he logged in from his phone or iPad version. I don't know if that works, but if it does, he will probably tweet us and say yes or no. But if you have the PC or Mac or Linux version that you can log in into a server, send us or me, preferably, a message on Twitter, giving your name for your character that you want to log in with, so I know when you're trying to log in that that is the character, in fact, that you're trying to add to the whitelist. Because I have to do a little magic trick in order to get it working. So yeah, but that's the whole reason why we have the mics set up again, because we're going to try to do at least a 3-part episode of us just messing about in Minecraft that isn't the server. So we'll see how that goes, because Sarah never actually played Minecraft without creative mode and flying. So she has never crafted.
Yeah, we actually got a fight over that because I think it's super boring just to mine and actually have to walk and not be quick enough. And for me, it just takes so long. And for me, it's more boring, but Yura says it's not. It's the opposite, so we'll see.
Yeah. So for those Minecraft players who have played for a long time, probably are not cringeworthy from saying the word boring, but that's purely because she's never
I'm not.
played about that. And
No,
I'm
I'm
not
saying
continuing on about the discussion or
no,
not.
no. The thing is, it's not like it's not boring like running away from zombies and hiding and being in survival mode and whatever. I'm just saying, actually getting the mining the stuff you need to build and blah blah, it just takes so long.
Well, obviously she doesn't get the reason for the actual gameplay, but we'll figure that out as we go.
I
Um,
know. I'm just saying. I think it takes too long to actually get the materials I need.
so after how long now? You guys still don't know what my full name is or how to pronounce it, and shame on you because we've shared it multiple times.
What? This is how I would read it.
What do you mean?
Fun hair like hair, weinen. It's not that bad.
It's not hairline. Maar goed. Okay. Uh, one last time, probably for this week, and we'll just repeat it every single week up to the point that I get sick and tired of it. Van Herwijnen. Jurre van Herwijnen. And that's it. It's not that hard. It's not more. It's not less. That's just how it is.
But it's easier to understand like the hair and weinen. It was not bad. It was actually okay for foreign people to understand.
Okay. So this is a question from Lisa asking about if you're going to change your last name after we're married. We have actually talked about this, I think, before even, just for shits and giggles. But the big challenge with the changing of the last name is that it also has to be changed on the visa
And my passport.
and your passport. Well, okay, now it has to be changed to your passport. But in order to get that done, the visa has to be renewed. And that process is not fun. So I think we'll just wait until she has to renew her visa anyways, or gets to renew, like,
Yeah,
well,
or get a
if
different
she,
type.
if she gets to renew her visa, then probably by the time, hopefully, she can change it in her passport. But I think it's technically allowed that she can use it casually, uh, without any problems. I mean, I think a lot of female people in general use their maiden name on paper, but have their male counterpart last name in social regular occasions. But that's something that I just Googled, so I'm not sure if that is actually true. I know that my grandmother still has her own last name, including mine, but she never uses it's on paper. She officially uses my last name. It's really weird.
What?
Yeah, on paper she only has one last name, which is my last name. But her maiden name, like her maiden last name, is the one that she has on documents. But I don't know how that worked or works
Are we talking
unofficially.
about your mom? I'm lost. I'm sorry.
Grandmother.
Oh, grandmother. Sorry.
Well,
That's weird. I don't know. You might have thrown away your answer.
I'm just filtering through some questions since we're talking about most of them anyways.
Okay. So, are you
Tends
selecting
to, tends to be a ninja photographer at your wedding. What does that mean?
that she can come and make photos?
I'm not sure if I don't think the camera is switching anymore. Well, I haven't selected
Well, I
you
haven't
or
selected
me.
either, so I
Oh,
can't
now
really.
it's working again. Okay, that's weird. For me, it gets stuck on my end.
Oh, okay, that's weird.
But yeah, chance to be a ninja photographer at your wedding. I don't know what that means, but I will probably, yes, probably make photos at my own wedding. There's a very small chance that I wouldn't.
No, not you, her.
Oh, huh? What?
It's okay, don't worry, I'll talk to her.
Okay, I have honestly no idea.
It's fine, she asked before I'll talk to her. We'll do it on Facebook or somewhere. Okay, no, Yura has such an amazing last name. This is not to be switched into anything else.
Also, because I am one of those, I refuse to take a different last name. Also because, well, I had to fight to get this last name. So, yeah, it has taken me at least 10 years in order to get it changed to this. As you know, my parents are divorced, and I had to carry officially my
Can,
dad's last name.
can I make a joke? Whose parents aren't divorced? I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't think it was funny. It was a bad joke, and you should feel bad.
Okay, I feel bad. I know you
Good.
had a bad experience with it.
Um, but no, I would not. I wouldn't change my last name. I'm sorry. Even if you wanted me to, it's not gonna happen.
No, no. Technically, I think everybody should just keep the name they were born with or choose a different name and have that in their passport.
I
But
think a
don't
lot of
have,
people just keep the same name.
yeah, nowadays, yeah. But I think kind of forcing someone to take a different name is like, hey, you were born with that name. People know you with that name. The only thing why I want yours name because it's fancy and awesome. And if I could marry someone in Germany with a fun blah blah, I would totally do it. It's the same with a Van something. It's just like, yes, I want to do this. Plus,
Okay. So she's
perfect.
basically only marrying me for my last name.
Yes.
It's official. She's just instead of a gold digger, she's a name digger.
I'm a name digger, right? And I can't even use it right now, so
Uh,
pointless.
to answer Lisa's question, what she
Read
asks,
it. Read
basically,
it.
she basically asks, so after the wedding, how long will you be together before you have to be apart again? How long before we see you both living together? Uh, First part, until the wedding is done, maybe a couple of days, and that's unfortunately it. And the next part, we have honestly no idea how long that process takes. So sorry, we can't really answer that because we don't know. But our wishes is as fast as possible and as long as possible.
Yeah. The thing is, we are looking for a visa where he can basically come to the US and live here, but he's also dependent on my visa. So if I have to leave the US, he has to leave too.
Yeah.
And that is, yeah. So we are looking for a more permanent solution because I think a couple of, it sounds weird, but I have heard other things where people were talking like you would just marry me for my visa or something, and that is complete bullshit because I only have a work visa. He doesn't gain anything from that. So when I have to leave,
Also,
he has to leave.
um, might I add that visas aren't always, you don't always get a visa. It's very dependent on your situation. And also, even if you get the visa, it's still not guaranteed that you get into the country. It's
Yeah.
it's it's really up to the officer that
And
is in charge at the second.
and we the thing is in Germany we have a saying like a branded child. So it's like we both have bad experience with the border control and
Well, actually, I talked to a couple of people throughout the year now, and we're not definitely not the only ones. Only we're the ones that have the more interesting story that happens after we get kicked out, sort of.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, but yeah, okay. It's been 52 minutes on the stream. This is the last round of answers and questions that we're going to give, and after that, we're going to round up the live stream because unofficially it says quick, quick, quick. But yeah, you know how it now goes. We never really end up doing a short one. So
Okay.
I'm sorry for those who just logged in, but you can see the stream go live in about an hour after, or even faster sometimes.
It's faster
Yeah.
nowadays.
Okay. So Andreas says, from an IT admin point of view, I prefer when people keep their name, so I don't have to change usernames, passwords, and such. Well, I can add to that. Either you haven't set up your server um, database in the correct way, because it's not that hard if you set it up correctly. It basically pushes all the names directly to the correct one. And yes, I've done that multiple times when I was still working. I hated it too, and yes, we had some issues afterwards, but then again, like it's not like you're doing changes every single week.
But still, it's like, oh,
Are you
here.
boring or something?
No, I'm sorry. I need food and stuff. My blood sugar just drops.
Yeah, my balls, you're just boring. You're
No,
just
I'm not. I
bored.
just
You
wanted
don't
to. No,
care.
shut up. I just wanted to say the thing is, when we get married, I have to change stuff here too because you can either be on my health insurance here and my social security blah and blah. And hey, you know what's cool? You can make your driver license.
I still can't open a bank account.
Or you can have a second card to my bank account. No, you actually can open a bank account, I think.
Nope. I need the social security number, and that's not part of the visa.
No, 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 no. There is a possibility for you to have.
Yeah,
and
it's not,
look
it's
into
one of
that.
those. It's one of those. You still have to go to that office thingy, and you get a paper saying, "Huh, this person doesn't get one."
No, no, the thing is, you don't get the social security number, but you get some sort of tax registration number, which is weird to me because you actually can't earn money. Why do you need a tax number?
Yeah, usually people do taxes together, anyways. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is a Game of Thrones question, so I have no input on that. So do your thing. Answer.
Um, um, I'm not sure if I can talk about the Game of Thrones stuff because a lot of
Talk
people
about
say,
it. People should have either read the books or be kept read up or what I watched up. They kill
okay,
off a character that that Sarah looks a lot like. It's unfortunate, but honestly, they kill every single goddamn character on the series. So if someone dies, it's not that hard to it's not that unexpected.
at least it gives me another option. I can go as zombie grid.
Okay, so zombie egret it is.
Yeah,
Winterfell and Minecraft group
we
build.
can do that.
Is there already a build starting, or did I miss out on it? Because I haven't logged in on the server the last 3 days. As in, logged in. I've checked the server, it's still running.
I don't know. I know there's a huge ass project where they actually built like Winterfell and whatever.
I don't know
Like
what Winterfell is,
the
by
whole
the way,
map.
but I assume that it's
It's
Game of
it's
Thrones.
it's one part of the map from Game of Thrones.
Okay,
It's where the Stark family is and so on.
okay.
Never mind. It's okay. My Jon Snow. Guys, he could be Jon Snow. Come on, he
Yeah,
has the
we've
hair.
done this discussion before. I really don't care about Game of Thrones, nor do I want to do any cosplay about it because people ask me about the show that I don't like, and
You
then I'm
don't
one of
know
those
if you like it.
And then I'm one of those people. No, I don't care about it right now. So I'm now one of those people. Like I'm going to play a character that I don't know anything about. That's the same thing like the discussion with cosplay girls when they're dressing up as like super sexy superheroes and like fantasy characters. If they don't know the lore behind it, they get lynched. I don't want to be that person. Nope. Exactly. I don't know nothing, and that's the only quote that I know.
That's enough.
No, no, that's not enough. I need to know more about something before I dress up as an idiot.
He's not an idiot.
Well, he
Maybe.
knows nothing, so he's an idiot in my opinion. Guys,
Unless
thank you for joining us today. Even though we, like I always say, we won't do a short one, it still ends up being an hour. So thank you for joining us live today. For those who were hanging out and giving us topics and questions, thank you. For those who have donated this week and the weeks before to the Nerdish Wedding, or correction, not donated, but gifted us something. Thank you so much. I hope in the next week we get the amazing gift of giving more thank yous in next week's live stream. Other than that, I hope you guys who have watched the stream after it got online on YouTube, some enjoyable background stuff. I don't know how to call it. It's the same way how I watch my podcast, video podcast. I don't always actually watch it. I just listen to it in the background if I'm doing something else. That's probably the best way to do it. So, do you have anything else to add to the stream for today? To
no,
end with?
just no. Like we mentioned often before, you don't have to give us like 50 euros. We're happy for every single euro we get. Like
But
5
you
euros
are
a
allowed
month.
to give more if you want to. So I see.
Yes, you are allowed. And you will get our heart no matter what you give us.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So have an awesome day, morning, or night. It doesn't matter where you are. As long as you have an awesome day, we will see you guys either tomorrow or next week in one of our other streams.
yes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Bye.
Bye.